going to get out hot early. As you mentioned earlier, a big-time turnover problem for Butler against Columbia, 29 turnovers.
Yeah, and head coach Austin Parkinson talked about some of that. He said when we got shots up, we shot about 50%.
Well, the game is underway from Hinkle Fieldhouse. First matchup between these two since 1998 when Butler took that one right here at Hinkle Fieldhouse, 74-63. First shot up is no good. Now kicks back out, top of the key, money.
It's going to be something to watch out for. This Central Michigan team is fantastic at rebounding the ball. Last year, top 5 in total rebounds and rebounding margin in the nation.
That was Mitchell getting on the board there first for Central Michigan. Butler looking to respond, take care of the basketball. A big emphasis down low as Lily Zeenstra has got an easy cut to the basket for 2.
Perfect back cut there as Mallory Miller just saw that one the whole way. She motioned up for Zeenstra. Zeenstra goes backdoor in an easy lay for Butler's first 2 points.
Mallory Miller, the sophomore, Arizona State transfer. Remember, almost a brand new team entirely for the Bulldogs this year. 9 new players on this Bulldog squad. So now Butler Bulldog ball after the traveling violation. And Langham will handle it. It's down low, posting up, kick out to Jackson, one of those twins. And misses her first shot of the night. The 2 Jackson twins. Sanaya Jackson gets the start here today. Nevaeh Jackson will come off the bench later on. Brother Jalen Jackson is on the men's basketball squad. And Zeenstra is going to put up another one. She's got 5 early.
It's one thing to watch with Zeenstra, a career 41% three-point shooter. And when she has catch-and-shoot ability, it is lights out from deep.
So the Chippewas looking to respond following some Zeenstra trifecta. Down low, that's Darrington. Darrington, like you said, rebounding the basketball, one of those players that can rebound. She did a tremendous job last year, but she can score it too.
Yeah, and on that play, a tremendous job by her, sealing out her defender. Mallory Miller was able to force a travel on the first low post touch. That time just seals her off. That's an easy layup every day.
There's Jackson on the drive. Gets denied, no foul. And down at the other end, quick, easy, fast break bucket for Chevrolet. It's a Central Michigan squad that doesn't lack as much in height as you might think. You got Darrington down there at 6'2". And it is a big squad for the Chippewas. Early steal here from Morrison. Morrison down the floor, pump fake, turns it around and misses her first bucket. And down the floor right away, running the rim, is Sanaya Jackson.
Perfect pass there from Langham. And Jackson running straight down the floor after Central Michigan gets a transition bucket. Butler responds with one of their own.
It's excellent awareness by Jackson. Cut right to the basket. Something Butler loves to do is play with speed. We see it all the time. Coach Parkinson loves to get these Bulldogs moving. Here's Darrington on the turnaround layup. That one's good.
It's already 3 low post touches for Darrington, and we're just a few minutes into this one. It seems like they want to establish her early and often in this contest.
Well, can you blame them?
Can't.
It's been working so far. There's Jackson now, weighing him on off the left wing, drives, foul down low. Heavy dose of subs in for both sides. Nevaeh Jackson will come into the game, so both Jackson Twins on the floor. Langham's first free throw is good. And second good as well. 2 for 2 on the free throws. She'll take a seat. In comes Addie Baxter.
Baxter has run the second offense really well so far. Impressive for a freshman. He's been able to run that offense and contribute in all parts of the game.
Well, Baxter's no stranger to scoring. All-time leader at her high school in points. 1,859 points. That's a lot of numbers.
See Butler breaking out a zone here on some pressure also in the backcourt.
Morrison barely handles the pass. Tipped up in the air. Going to dish it back out. Three-pointer, no good. Tough shot coming from Bushel. Remember, Baxter has all those moves going to the basket. Is always a threat with the ball in her hand wherever she is on the floor. Takes the ball screen, and as I say it, she takes it to the rim for 2.
Perfect job there. She just waited out the pick and roll at the perfect time. Once they try to get on that switch, they find some room.
And stolen by Jackson. She's going to come straight down the floor, right off the bench. She's got a bucket of her own.
Jackson is tied for the team lead in scoring coming into this one. 13.5 points per game with Lily Zingstra, and she's been shooting over 60% from the field in the first 2 games.
And kickball violation. It will stay down with Chippewas. So Jackson trying to make the case of, hey, I should be starting as well. Some really good scoring. Defense, steal numbers. She has her first one here tonight. Now whip it around the wing. That one rims out. Jada Mosley can't get her first one to go. And down now inside. Miller, traveling violation. Took a bunch of steps. She caught that one and basically just traveled the entire length of the paint. Well, it's been an interesting start here at Hinkle Fieldhouse, 13-9. Scoring on both sides for both teams.
And Lily Zingstra off to a quick start. 5 points on 2 shots, a wide open 3 there from the corner. And the Speller offense is off to another hot start.
So almost right away, we're going to have a turnover.
Butler back with that zone to open up out of the timeout. So head coach Kristen Haney for the Chippewas had some time to scheme up what they want to do. And the first 2 possessions, they did not set any off-ball screens, didn't get good looks. And that third one, wide open 3 on the left wing, as they set a back screen to free up one of their shooters.
So here's Baxter on the left wing. And Jackson tried to get it down low. You have Mallory Miller posting up. And caught the foot of one of the Chippewas. So Baxter on the inbounds. Something we have not seen Butler do today is pass into the post. And Jackson squeezes right through 2 defenders and gets a nice layup.
Back cuts have proven to be costly for this Chippewa defense earlier. That's 2 times they've gotten free layups at the rim.
And Jackson on a steal. Here goes the other Jackson twin with her stealer and over of her own. On a fast break, she scores it.
Jackson twins are just so dangerous on both sides of the court. Their height, they're able to rebound well. They can play fantastic defense. And they can get out in transition, as you've seen already early on.
Well, Sanaya Jackson, Nevaeh Jackson getting steals and getting buckets. There's a 3. That's Morrison. Don't sleep on her shoot.
There's that pull-up jumper for her, and she's scored over 40 points so far on just 1 3 coming into this game. So her game is not centered around the 3 ball, but on that one, open space, she'll take that shot all day. And that one stolen and taken down the floor. Miller's there.
Susie Zeenstra. That one's blocked by Lily Zeenstra. And now a jump ball down low. Arrow is going to point the Butler way.
Fantastic job by Zeenstra. It felt like she saw the Euro step coming before it happened there and just timed it up perfectly, able to get a piece of that one and help stop 2 points on a fast break. Another Butler turnover, so that's 3 turnovers already. They're going to have to watch that. Good first 4 minutes, but the last 4, a couple more turnovers.
Well, Zeenstra, maybe seen her fair share of Euros.
Four turnovers so far for Central Michigan, the 3 just mentioned for Butler. So if Butler can win the turnover battle, I think they're going to like their chances in this one.
Baxter trying to get it across half court on the double team on the full court press.
Similar press they saw against Columbia in their last time out, which forced a lot of turnovers. So something maybe the Central Michigan coaching staff saw.
And Baxter's layup goes off the front iron. Now it's Anderson to Morrison. Here's Mitchell going to her left. She gets fouled. Give that one to Addie Baxter.
Offensively for Butler, when they were able to break the press against Columbia, they got a lot of open looks and a lot of layups. If Central Michigan's going to keep the pressure on, something that those repetitions from that previous game should help them get some more open looks and play fast on the offensive end.
Here's Morrison going to launch one from deep, rims out. Morrison only with 1 bucket so far. And now a 3 ball from the corner misses. As Whitepitch couldn't get that one to go. Here's Morrison going to work on Whitepitch inside. High arcing layup. She's going to get an offensive foul called on Maddie Morrison.
And you saw that charge further down, that offensive foul deeper in the paint there. There's no restricted area besides straight under the hoop in women's college basketball. So you see that arch in the paint on the line that is only for the men's game. So that's something to watch out for. These women's players can take those charges deep in the paint. When those offensive players are looking for an open layup, they can step in and change possession on a turnover pretty quick.
Now Eddie Baxter off the left wing. Baxter drives to the basket and lays it in. So Addie Baxter right away showing her moves, going to the basket. And now going straight to the rim and getting her own rebounds is Pruitt. Back outside, money 3 ball for Mitchell.
Butler had done a nice job keeping Central Michigan off the boards. Only 1 offensive board through the first 8 minutes, but weren't going to keep them off the boards for that much longer, and that one leads to a big 3.
Stoddard with the high ball screen. Baxter had all kinds of options. Baxter looks a little frustrated in the corner. It looked like she wanted to take that one to the basket. A little too late. Baxter's 3, no good. And Stoddard's slow to get up and running the other side. And Stoddard, the ball steal. There's another returner for the Bulldogs, Lily Stoddard, the senior. Transferred in from Purdue after her freshman year. Spent the last 2 years here at Butler. We're going to close out her collegiate career with the Bulldogs. There's Baxter with 1 second on the shot clock. And I think there's going to be a foul called on the shot. Stoddard tried to set throws. It's a big victory for Coach Austin Parkinson. Now you got a chance to go up 6. It's a big difference. First free throw good from Baxter. and she nails them both. So now 4 for 6 from the line for Baxter so far in her collegiate career at Butler. And clock winding down, 1 second. They're not going to get a shot off. End of the first quarter. 6-point lead for Butler, 21-15. It's been a fun one so far. A lot of scoring, a lot of efficient shooting. We've had you by Invesco QQQ, the official ETF of the Big East Conference. 1 quarter has been played here at Hinkle Fieldhouse. 21-15 is the score. Bulldogs lead it. And we've seen a lot of points off turnovers. It's something we were addressing off air during the break for Butler.
Yeah, 7 turnovers now for the Central Michigan offense, and that has resulted in 13 points for Butler. You look at the other side of this, as another potential turnover, it will be. It's now 8 turnovers. We'll see if it leads to more points, but 0 points off turnovers for Central Michigan so far on the 3 Butler turnovers.
Well, when you look at Butler's points off turnovers, 13. That's a lot in this game. You look at the score right now. Now driving inside, backing down, going to the baseline, and traveling violation. That was Dotsy. Had some nice moves, but just walked on the pivot. Trying to get back inside. Mitchell, 3 at the top of the corner. Top of the key, rather. That one went way high off the backboard. And then laying it off the backboard is Pruitt.
Another offensive rebound and 2 more second chance points for the Chippewas.
There's Jackson to swing it out. For the bench right now in for Butler. Jackson almost lost it. Swings it corner to corner pass. And 3 ball is no good for Dotsy. And now a charging violation down low. White pitch put her arms up and just took it right in the paint.
Taking another look, just way out of control on the fast break there. I don't think the ball should have gone to the middle of the paint there. The man on White pitch was in a good spot. And tried to get the ball out quick there, and just not enough time before White pitch was able to slide under there.
It's an interesting pass selection going straight into the paint, like you said. Nevertheless, good positioning, good defense from White pitch. Here's Zeenstra on the drive. She gets fouled, offensive foul on Zeenstra. So a charge of her own.
Now 2 early turnovers for Butler to start off these offensive possessions in the second half, something they do not want to happen, especially early on. They want to build off of this lead. Unable to do so far.
Mitchell tries to throw it inside. Again, we've seen a lot of turnovers, and a lot of them have come in the paint. And then that's Pruitt going straight to the basket. So Pruitt draws the foul. She'll go to the line for 1.
See Miller there just unable to slide over into position. Has a bit of a scramble for that loose ball. It's picked up by Central Michigan. And they just find the space. Another, not exactly second chance opportunity for them, but they lost the ball, got it back, and turns into 2, potentially 3 points.
So Pruitt's free throw is good. That'll put Central Michigan at 20 points. A 5-0 run straight out of the quarter break for the Chippewas. And Langham's mid-range jumper goes off the front iron. And now driving to the basket once again is Pruitt.
And without Morrison on the court, this Central Michigan offense has almost looked better. They're creating a lot of open looks, especially early on.
Well, right now they're playing straight through Pruitt. She's had the ball in her hands pretty much almost every possession since the quarter break. Zeenstra gets blocked down low. Now Coach Parkins is going to put in Baxter back in the game, hoping she can slow some things down a bit. Give Butler another option driving to the basket as Zeenstra has been locked up going to the rim. Baxter kicks it out. Jackson, a three-pointer. No good. This is a long foul coming. When called on Ryan Bushel.
All 8 of Butler's made field goals so far come from 4 of the rotation on the floor right now. And Zeenstra, Nevaeh Jackson, Sanaya Jackson, and Baxter have scored every basket so far for the Dogs. They're going to have to get some offense from somebody else off the bench when this rotation is not out there.
Now Jackson cuts to the basket, early pass. Not sure she was expecting one along the baseline. And it's going to be a jump ball. The arrow still has it the Butler way. Dangerous pass by Wilkie. Here's Baxter, passes up the three-pointer, tries to drive through 2 defenders, and can't even get it back up to the rim. Tough defense there.
Butler just cannot get a good look on offense to start off this second quarter.
It has been a rough offensive showing for the Bulldogs early, as you said. Morrison pulls up on the baseline, air ball. One thing they have done so far is lock down Maddie Morrison so far. And now Baxter, 3 in the corner, off the side of the backboard. And a traveling violation goes on Mitchell.
It's now 10 turnovers for Central Michigan, and that's where you also mentioned in the first quarter the lack of paint touches. I'm not sure we've seen a paint touch for a Butler big in this second quarter. I'd like to see them get involved in the low post, try and mix up some of their offense, because it's a lot of just dribble handoffs and screening at the top of the key, and that's just not working.
Yeah, the Bulldogs have been trying to launch it from deep. They are 3 for 7 to start this game. After hitting a few in the first quarter, they have found nothing here in the second. Zeenstra had a high pass that hung up in the air forever for Jackson. She somehow came up with it.
Jackson just choosing to settle down the offense there. Instead of pushing that one with numbers, try and get into the action that Austin Parkinson designed in the timeout.
There's Zeenstra's first 3 ball after the timeout is no good. Well, Coach Parkinson is going with a full-on offensive lineup. All your big-time scorers are on the floor right now, between Zeenstra, Baxter, Jackson. Now working down low, kicks it back outside. Morrison's 3, no good. And a rebound from Stoddard. Hard-fought rebound. There goes Baxter driving to her left, down the lane, gets the friendly roll and the foul. So Butler finally gets on the board here in the second quarter.
Baxter kind of taking things into her own hands there. You see off the pick and roll, just goes straight downhill, attacks the big, and gets the roll.
You're talking about getting it into the paint. That's one way to do it. Now Baxter's free throw is good.
It's like Butler's going back to that zone defense that stifled the Chippewa offense early in that first quarter.
And now Morrison has a high arcing shot right over the hand of Lily Stoddard.
Just 5 threes attempted in the first 2 games for Morrison and 1 make. Now 4 attempts and 2 makes in this one early on, showing she's not afraid to shoot it if Butler's going to give her space.
Well, she's going to find a way to pierce through that zone defense. And we were talking about it earlier off air. When you're playing a team like Central Michigan who rebounds the ball so well, zone defense is a risky option.
It's going to be hard for Butler to get those defensive rebounds out of the zone. However, one thing is Central Michigan hasn't done a lot of off-ball screening in the zone.
Here's Stoddard. Talk about bigs down low for Butler. Finally gets the touch, but doesn't get the roll.
So Butler back in man now off the fast break. I wonder if they're just trying to set up the zone after they score.
And Chevry is going to almost take it straight from half court. Offensive rebound goes to Mitchell in the putback.
More second chance points for Central Michigan. And that's really what has keyed their offense.
Now Stoddard has it once again, almost at the top of the key. Whitepich's three is no good. It went long and hit off the backboard. Morrison on the crossover drive and blocked down low by Stoddard. They picked it up by Baxter. Baxter's running the floor. No foul called, a lot of contact on that play. Here comes the pace, catching up again.
Starting to pick up turnovers in transition.
And a foul down low on Whitepitch.
Take a look at this. Another good seal off. Central Michigan, the bigs have done an excellent job getting deep post position. That's led to a couple fouls and a couple easy buckets. Butler on the offensive end, just 1 for 9 from 3. After that hot start, is Zeenstra making the first three-point attempt for them. They're going 0 for 8 since.
And now the free throw is no good from Pruitt. Well, these Butler fans here want free tacos. 2 missed free throws by the opposing team. And they will not get it here in the second quarter.
Butler as a team came into today shooting 30% from 3. So they've been able to hit the 3 ball at times this season. Maybe just a bad stretch, but they're not afraid to let those 3s fly.
Willingham was trying to look into the paint and get it down low. Great defense down low from Central Michigan. Second chance effort goes down for Miller. And the foul.
This time they get their low post touch to their starting big and their center. And Miller misses the first one, but a nice strong offensive rebound goes straight back up. And now she's at the line to shoot one. Potentially cut it to a 1-point game.
Miller misses the back end of the N1 free throw. Now Mitchell kicks it back out. See some more dribble moves from Central Michigan. As these Butler players play on their toes. Here's Morrison's 3, no good. So the cold start for Morrison continues. Morrison's only hit 2 threes. We've seen her take a lot of shots here early. And Zeenstra tried to put it up and gets fouled in the process. She's got 2.
A couple possessions in a row. The Butler guards are not afraid now to drive to the hoop. They're getting some contact, and now they're starting to get the calls. It's making that offense a little bit more open. And allow now for the dribble drive and kick out to those open three-point shooters if they can find them, if the paint is filled.
Free throw good from Zeenstra. Last night at halftime of the Butler men's game, had a 3-point contest from the women's basketball squad, and Lily Zeenstra took the dub. This good crowd was on hand. That game against Chicago State, Bulldogs won it. Looking for another Butler Bulldog win here are these fans. And now fouled down low as Langham came to help. Lost her footing. She'll get called for it.
Yeah, Langham came on the double all the way from the corner there. Has that ball got deeper into the post. Didn't really have a good amount of time to get there for the double, and just too late. Draws a ticky-tack foul.
Here's Morrison on the baseline jumper, no good. And tried to save it from going out of bounds down low. Via Jackson.
Bit of a break there for Butler. You're taught to never throw it back in bounds under your own hoop. It almost led to a wide open layup for Morrison right there. Right under the hoop, she got that ball. Unfortunately, at her ankles, wasn't able to do much with it.
And now down low, quickly off the inbound, easy bucket for Taylor Johnson.
Miscommunication there from Butler on the defensive end on the out of bounds. They defended that exact play the first time around with Zeenstra on the big. This time a switch and unable to get a body on her.
Now it's Zeenstra driving from the baseline, corner to corner pass to Jackson. Outside pump fake, she wanted it. And all 5 Butler players on the arc, and Jackson's going to be the one that hits the 3.
Sanaya there just taking a peek at the clock. 4 seconds left. Butler only 1 dribble drive and kick. And with a hand down, she's going to take that shot with just 3 seconds left on the shot clock anytime.
Going down low, Taylor Johnson going to work on Miller. She just puts it up. She's looking to get a pass, an extra pivot foot, and then she's like, wait a minute, I'll just take it right here.
Back-to-back buckets for Johnson down low. Made her work a bit more for that one.
And Zeenstra is called for the over the back on the backcourt violation. As she was saying, that was tipped and poked away to go behind half-court line, but head referee Joseph Valzilli said otherwise. So 1 minute left here in halftime until halftime. Shot no good, rebound foul. They'll throw that one on Langham.
Perhaps the best part of Morrison's game is that pull-up jumper off the dribble, and she hasn't hit one so far tonight. 2 for 11 from the field, and those 2 makes both from beyond the three-point line. She came into today with just 1 3-point make. Let's take another look at this foul as Langham just nudges her while she's in the air, and free throws for Central Michigan.
So the first one is good. And Taylor Anderson will make them both. Under 50 seconds now, Central Michigan has a 3-point lead, 34-31. As Butler needs to find a way to get this ball either inside or have someone cut to the basket. There goes Baxter, and ripped away. Jump ball is called. The arrow's going to go to Central Michigan.
Another possession for Butler, where about 20 seconds is spent outside the three-point line. Just dribble handoffs. No real action is being run. No post touches for Mallory Miller on that possession. No dribble drives from the guards, and it's kind of just a stagnant offense when there's not a lot of movement. You've got 5 out beyond the three-point line. The paint's open. Somebody's going to have to make a move and attack the paint.
Here's Maddie Morrison to bring it down now. Shot clock is turned off. So Central Michigan can hold this one all the way down to the buzzer. And Morrison will pull up. Mid-range jumper no good. Jackson has it. Clock winding down, and that will do it for the first half of play. Central Michigan with a 3-point lead over Butler to start this one off. What have you seen so far?
Well, it's been second chance.
Shooting a lot of threes, not finding so much success either.
Yeah, and the best scorer by far for Central Michigan on the season has been Maddie Morrison. She just got 6 points on 2 made field goals of 12 attempts. If she gets hot in the second half, Central Michigan could run away with this one.
Talk about the fact that Central Michigan has a 3-point lead without their best scorer being a key contributor. So Zeenstra's going to launch one right out of halftime. Talk about three-pointers getting back on the board is Lily Zeenstra.
Beautiful double off-ball screen there set up by head coach Austin Parkinson. A fully designed play to get their best shooter an open look to start off the second half.
Morrison's pass is going to go wide of Bushel. And we'll send it down to the third member of our crew, Camille Wilson.
Spoke with head coach Austin Parkinson coming after the halftime. I really asked, what did you say to your team coming back in? And he was like, we just talked about missed shots and base offense needs to be better. And generally came down to they're just being out-toughed by Central Michigan right now. So he said, once we get that toughness and make some shots, we'll be back in this game. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Camille. And, Butler's got to make some more shots, but, yeah, totally. Austin Parkinson addressing which sounds like the right things at halftime. As Morrison hit the deck, and Langham's going to take it the other way down the floor. She's got the bucket and the lead for Butler.
Camille talked about that standard offense, and it was something that we talked about. It was just way too stagnant. Too many people not moving outside the three-point line. No cutters, no screeners, no action towards the basket.
And now right to the basket. To tie it back up at 36. Both teams fresh, set with a new offense. Jackson spinning, not good. But Miller's got the rebound and the finish. Good putback for Mallory Miller.
And a better look offensively as Langham drives to the basket, gets a good look at a layup, and that's better than a lot of that offense in the second quarter that Butler has seen.
And now down low, trying to get something. Wanted the foul. She's going to get it. That's Darrington.
Darrington got a couple early looks in this one and went 2 for 2, just the 4 points, but has not attempted a shot since then. Finally get her another low post touch. She's traveled a couple times, and Miller looked like good defense there, but as Darrington steps through, they're going to call that foul.
So 2 free throws coming up now for Darrington. And first one good. This is the second. So Darrington goes 1 for 1 at the line. And Langham brings it down for the Bulldogs. Miller looking corner to corner pass, almost was stolen. Langham trying to get it to Jackson. She can't quite do it. Jackson survives the backcourt violation, gets it to her sister who launches one and misses it off the front iron.
Looked a lot like what that offense looked like in the second quarter, with not a lot of movement towards the hoop and just another wasted possession where you have to chuck up a shot at the last second.
Vega Jackson is called for the foul.
Darrington has a mismatch in the post if they can get it to her.
Now trying to work around as Mitchell kicks it back outside. Drive, layup is good. That's Chevry. Chevry can handle it. She can score down low as well for the Chippewas. There's Langham's corner three, nails it.
Better movement there for Butler. Zeenstra going downhill, causes the weak side defender to crash in, leaves an open space in the corner for Langham.
So Butler already finding some more success from beyond the arc to start this half. 2 made three-pointers, one by Zeenstra, one by Langham. Miller sets the high ball screen. Pick and pop is no good. And then it goes off the foot of Taylor Anderson. Heads up play from Sanaya Jackson. She knocked that one to the ground. A little pinball machine action between the legs. And it goes out of bounds. Butler ball.
Bit of a different lineup now for Butler. The two point guards are now in the game, so it's going to be interesting to see how this offense looks with two good ball handlers and facilitators.
And pass to Jackson is stolen. That was just a lob over to the top of the key. And an easy defensive play for Chevry. And an offensive foul is called.
Hard to tell where that foul came from. It looked like Jackson was just cutting through, trying to get to the other side. Didn't see any bodies hit the floor.
Probably called it for fighting through the screen or. Well, anyways, Mitchell with the ball. Under 5:30 in the third quarter. And now battling for it down low. Baxter was trying to call timeout, and she had the ball. But a jump ball now will go towards Central Michigan.
Part of that aggressive rebounding plan for Central Michigan is just how physical they are down low. You saw two different Butler players hit the deck before that rebound even was up for grabs, and it made it a 3-on-5 for the Chippewas to try and grab that one.
That was a heads-up play by Baxter as you were watching her down low. She took a quick look at the possession arrow and said, hey, listen, this is going to Central Michigan. We get this call timeout. Not a freshman move. And that's going to be a foul call down low on Baxter. As Chevry kind of caught Baxter trying to establish position. On that inbounds pass.
Baxter is matched up with Darrington down low. This is going to be trouble for Butler if they don't send help.
And Darrington is going to take the mismatch and get the layup.
It's a couple times off the inbounds where Stoddard is on the ball, and when they have to switch, when they throw it up top, it's usually a smaller guard who ends up on the big man Darrington.
And a foul called. That'll go to Chevry. And that'll take us to the under 5 timeout of the third quarter.
Be a shooter on the outside open or a backdoor cut wide open for a layup.
So Baxter will inbound it out of the media timeout, goes straight to Stoddard, and we're back to basketball action. Now here's Lily Zeenstra trying to get something. Remember, Butler has started to shoot a little bit better here in the second half as Jackson takes it to the rim and rolls out. Now down low, goes to her floater. And that one's out of bounds, so it'll go to Butler. If you're just joining us, it's been a story of really quarters so far. First quarter, Butler controlled the tempo, the turnovers, 13 points off of turnovers in the first few minutes of that first quarter. But then Central Michigan took over in the second. Now both teams trying to battle it out and see who's going to take this third quarter of action.
Butler out of the timeout, struggled on that last position, had to get another shot up as the shot clock was winding down. See if they can get some better action off that standard offense. Just 17 seconds. They're going to have to go quick and get downhill.
There he goes, Baxter trying to get into the lane as she does so many times. And a whistle. Foul off the ball. We'll go to Taylor Anderson. As Baxter's pass couldn't quite get to Stoddard, it's going to be a turnover for the Bulldogs.
2 turnovers off of inbounds in this quarter alone for the Bulldogs.
It's a frustrating sequence to see if you're Coach Parkinson, because now you give up a foul on the other end, and Taylor Anderson's going to go to the free throw line.
Scoring drought for Butler at 2 minutes, 35 seconds. Ever since that timeout, not much has gone right on the offensive end. Langham will sub out as she picks up her 3rd foul. So one of the 2 ball handlers for Butler in some foul trouble.
Langham with 3 fouls. Baxter has 2, but other than that, we don't have a ton of foul trouble early. For the first time we are hearing of it, as Anderson's first free throw is good. So 2 for 2 at the line. As Miller came into the game for Stoddard during the trip to the foul line. So different look down low for Butler. Off the screen goes Baxter. Left wing drains it. That's that mid-range game that she can pull up and shoot as well. Two-point game now, 3:30 in the third. And gets her foot behind the line. Mitchell's 3, no good. And foul on the rebound. That one will go on Mallory Miller.
So Miller now picks up her 3rd foul. So that's now starting point guard and one of your starting bigs, each with 3 fouls. Still 3 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter.
Dotsey comes back onto the floor. These Bulldog fans want tacos here at Hinkle Fieldhouse. As first free throw is good and the tacos are off the board.
And now on the floor for Butler, you have 2 bigs and no true point guard to run the offense. So it'll be interesting to see how they run that action on those dribble handoffs. Usually run through Baxter. But now off the floor, she also has 2 fouls. That's something to watch as well.
Well, for Butler, if you're going a big lineup here, you can sort of get back defensively as you have a couple mismatches down low. But one thing we have not seen in this 3rd quarter, Central Michigan has not gone to Morrison a lot for their offense. And she's been shut down all day. Offensive foul is called again on the Bulldogs.
If Morrison's not going to make an impact on the offensive end, how about that? Stepping in from the corner, picks up the charge there. Beautiful job on the defensive end as she saw Wypich out of control, trying to get to the rack.
So Wypich picked up the foul. That's her 2nd. Miller takes a seat as she has 3. And Lingham still on the bench with 3. So some kind of foul trouble starting to creep up on the Bulldogs. They're late in the 3rd quarter. Down low and getting the basket is Darrington. She has had her way down there on these Butler Bulldog defenders.
Seems like the only defender that's been able to hold her under control is Miller, who's dealing with foul trouble, and Butler has to call a timeout.
Well, it's been a turn of events here offensively. 48-43 is the score. Central Michigan leads it. 2:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And right back to action as Zeenstra is double teamed at half court to start it. So Butler still going out with that big lineup as they're trying to counteract the offensive threat of Darrington down low defensively, and a kickball violation.
Turnovers were the story in Butler's loss against Columbia last time out, 29 we mentioned. And they started off really hot. It was a 13-0 points off turnovers after the 1st quarter. You take a look at that updated stat now. It's now 16-15 in favor of Central Michigan. So turnovers, yet again, becoming a problem for the Bulldogs.
You're talking about, you said at halftime, Maddie Morrison 2 for 12 shooting the basketball. She has not taken a shot yet in this 3rd quarter. And that one misses off the iron from Wypich. So back down the floor. There's Anderson driving to the basket. She lays it in. So here's Zeenstra with it to White pitch. Jackson has all sorts of options passing the ball at the top of the key. And Jackson is called for the offensive foul.
Yet another turnover for Butler. Really struggling to string that offense together. The first quarter, the offensive sets and the action looked amazing, and ever since, haven't been able to get much downhill, not a lot of open looks. And when they get those open looks from three, they haven't been able to convert, just 4 of 15.
As that foul actually went on Dotsy as she tried to establish her footing. Just kind of clipped the defender, and Langham will come back onto the floor. She's got 3 fouls. Along with Baxter, who's got 2. And a traveling violation. She lifted her pivot foot. It'll be Butler ball.
So now Butler back with that 2-point guard lineup. Both of them were sitting with a bit of foul trouble earlier. See if that opens up some more movement in this offense.
And Jackson has the passing lane down low to Stoddard if she wanted it. She's going to swing it around. Baxter drives to the rim. Comes in hot and gets fouled. Baxter has that burst from the 3-point line.
Baxter, the backup point guard, known for her ability to facilitate and kind of do it all, but she's the Dogs' leading scorer tonight. She's gotten to the line a couple times, now 3 separate times. Looking to shoot 2 more and add to her team high total of 11.
Team high, career high, season high for the freshman as she makes the free throw. Warwell, Indiana. We mentioned earlier Columbia City High School's all-time leading scorer. Makes both at the line. That'll make it a 5-point game. Here's Morrison with her first shot of the second half, is way off the top of the backboard, and a rebound goes to Butler. Here comes Jackson running the floor. Now Jackson trying to get inside. Had it almost stolen by Taylor Anderson. Jump ball was called. The arrow goes to Central Michigan.
Central Michigan, just a great job of closing these gaps on each side of the lane. Butler just can't seem to drive past these Chippewa defenders. And the best offense for Butler has been the pick and roll with Stoddard and Baxter, the second unit.
Here's Mitchell off the left wing, trying to drive inside, gets fouled by Langham. That's her 4th. Mitchell knew exactly what she was doing. Almost like looked like Chevry was feeding her the ball as she had Langham on her. Trying to draw the 4th foul, and she does.
Every time Central Michigan gets that height advantage in the post with either their bigger guards or their bigs, they're not afraid to attack, and they seem to target out those Butler defenders. They've drawn a lot of fouls, now putting some players in foul trouble. They've also gotten a lot of easy looks right at the rim.
Here's Mitchell at the free throw line. So now Butler will take over on possession. Darrington steps into the game. Shot clock is turned off. 20.9 seconds. Butler has a chance to get one more possession as they can hold for the last shot.
Feels like they're setting up a Baxter screen and drive here to end the quarter.
5 seconds. That ball almost stolen. Zeenstra with it. Air pass goes way over the head of Jackson and out of bounds. So some more miscues for Butler on offense.
And the 6th turnover for Zeenstra alone.
And half-court heave. Doesn't even make it to the paint. It is 52-45 Central Michigan after 3. It's been a struggle for the Bulldogs taking care of the basketball.
A 7-point lead for Central Michigan and the Chippewas, and a lot of that thanks to fast break offense and points in the paint. 30 points in the paint out of their 52. And they've really built on this strong first half performance and continued with that strong start in the third quarter.
Well, we saw 29 turnovers last time out against Columbia, 17 through 3 here today as Jackson rains the 3 ball.
Just what Butler needed. They need to open up the 3 ball. That way, when they drive to the paint, they have a threat outside, and Jackson nails that big triple, cuts the lead to just 4.
Here's Morrison, who has had a ton of struggles shooting the ball here today. 2 for 13. After averaging 20 a game in the first 2 of the season. That one passes down low and is good again for who else? Darrington.
Butler just cannot afford those mental lapses on defense. Jackson just lost her man.
And a foul called off the ball after the Mallory-Miller 3 on Mitchell. So the bucket gets wiped away, and Baxter will have it to inbounds along the baseline. They do count that basket from Miller. And a foul called on the Baxter drive to the basket.
Yet again, Baxter is just getting after the paint. Someone her size, you'd think she'd be the last one on this Bulldog roster to be attacking the paint. It's now 4 times she's attacked the paint and off the dribble, gotten the foul, and gotten to the line.
That Jackson triple earlier stopped a 3-minute and 14-second scoring drought for the Bulldogs. And now they have had a couple buckets and gotten to the line.
After 21 points in the first quarter from this Butler offense, just 24 the next 2 quarters.
A second free throw rims out from Baxter.
Baxter was a perfect 5 for 5 tonight from the line before that trip.
Here's Mitchell trying to get something working in the face of Zeenstra. And trying to get the ball to Darrington was Chevry, who was kicked.
Putting a big emphasis on getting Darrington the ball in this post. And this is going to be something to watch out for. Darrington off the out-of-bounds play. Can she get a mismatch, or do they stick Miller on her?
And right off the inbound goes Chevry on the baseline jumper, no good. But a rebound goes. And now Darrington with it down low on a triple team is stolen by Baxter.
Nice adjustment there from Austin Parkinson. Had Mallory Miller off the ball on that guarding Darrington. Led to a stop, and she forces the turnover. They're going to need her to stay out of foul trouble to guard Darrington down the stretch.
That was some better defense from the Bulldogs. When she gets the ball underneath the basket, you got to double. Or at least trap from the top. Off the fast break, layup is no good. Darrington tried to battle for the rebound. She's going to force a jump ball, and it's going to stay with Central Michigan. Lily Stoddard will come in for Miller. It's a different look when Lily Stoddard is in the game. And now the baseline jumper from Mitchell is no good. Rebound once again on the offensive end from Darrington. Goes straight down low as Pruitt, and that one airballs the reverse layup. Now here's Zeenstra. Throws up a 3 ball. Money. Lily Zeenstra is going to get that scoring going for the Bulldogs. She's been quiet so far today.
Cannot have a hand down when Zeenstra is behind the three-point line. If she sees that hand down, she's going to let the three-pointer fly.
I don't know if they were invited yesterday to the three-point contest at halftime. And Zeenstra was raining them home. And Mitchell's pass down low is tipped out by Jackson, fighting for it. And a jump ball is called. So it'll be Butler basketball.
Big defensive possession for Butler. Now a chance to take the lead on this offensive possession.
Remember, Langham is still on the bench with 4 fouls, so you're going to see a lot more of Addie Baxter down the stretch. Right now, though, it hasn't seemed like such a bad thing as you're getting more scoring out of Baxter, and an offensive foul is called.
Multiple times tonight for Morrison, stepping into that lane as Jackson drives, leaving her defender wide open. That's now 2 charges on that exact same play that she has drawn.
Maddie Morrison. Quiet scoring night, but still finding a way to impact the game off the ball. Cut to the basket, no good from Morrison. Rebound goes to Stoddard. She is fighting for the boards down low. Lily Stoddard really scratches and claws for every rebound. It is fun to watch. Here's Jackson, a 3, air ball. And a rebound to Darrington. And now Chevry hits the deck and a foul is called.
Down the stretch, Butler's going to have to find who their go-to scorer is. You know, for Central Michigan, they'll go to either Darrington down low, or they're not afraid to let Morrison ISO up top. But Butler, something they struggled with against Columbia was finding that go-to scorer in the crunch time, in overtime. They didn't have anybody that they could go to on a routine basis. Central Michigan's got a pair that they can go to.
Been a scoring drought so far the last couple minutes for Central Michigan. We're going to get back on the board. And that one tipped and out of bounds. It'll stay with the Chippewas. And stolen by Jackson. She runs the floor, lays it in. That is a heads-up play from Sanaya Jackson. She caught Ryland Bushell sweeping with the ball right around the ear of the Bulldog and took it away. And now down low, it's Darrington, blocked by Stoddard and ripped away by Zeenstra. Bulldogs are starting to figure out how to defend the paint a little bit more. Chevry still manages to get the rebounds and the bucket for Central Michigan.
An incredibly tough finish from Chevry there with the left hand. Saw Zeenstra on her right.
And now the ball battled by Stoddard. And it'll be Central Michigan possession. Now Darrington down low. Stoddard trying to defend. More good defense by Lily Stoddard, but some more troubles on the board. There's been a ton of second chance efforts in the last few minutes for Central Michigan. Butler needs to start cleaning up those rebounds. Zeenstra, long 3, no good.
Number 1 offensive rebounding team in the MAC is Central Michigan. Top 5 nationally in total rebounds. Butler's done a nice job limiting them. We've now seen that offensive rebounding threat the last couple of possessions for the Chippewas.
Well, 3-point game now. We got a thriller here in quarter number 4 at Hinkle.
Game. They've really capitalized on second chance points, 19 second chance points compared to Butler's 7.
Well, you're talking about a rebound battle, 31-23 in favor of Central Michigan. Offensively, 14-5. That has been the difference maker and a correlation, I think, to the scoreboard. There's Maddie Morrison on the pull-up jumper. Back into the scoring column. It's been a while since we've called her name making a bucket, as they need her to get going if they want to try and pull away. And now a whistle, a timeout called by Coach Austin Parkinson on the Bulldog bench.
To one who lives there, for she once was.
Back to action here at Hinkle. Baxter gets the ball off the inbound for Butler and runs it straight to the right wing. So Butler will start their offense. Baxter trying to drive. Here's Jackson getting down low. And some fancy moves from Jackson. Got the shot off before the shot clock violation, but didn't get it to go. Here's Morrison. She's trying to score a little bit more after being quiet early. And Maddie Morrison, back-to-back buckets made.
2 field goals, and both from three-point land were the only field goals from Morrison through the first 3 quarters. Now it's time to take over in the clutch. She's getting the ball, and the dribble ISO, 2 straight buckets for her.
It's taken her 3 games to crack the 50-point mark this season. As a foul is called down low on the block. And Lily Stoddard is going to take a seat. She did excellent defensively guarding Darrington.
4 blocks, and I think 3 of those were on the last 2 or 3 possessions from Stoddard. Although those offensive rebounds that we mentioned, Central Michigan, despite Darrington getting blocked a couple times, those offensive rebounds giving her extra opportunities.
So Zeemstra gets the free throw that'll break the 8-0 scoring run for Central Michigan. Misses the second. Rebound goes to Chevry. And the Chippewas will take it the other way. Now here's Pruitt on the drive. Gives it up to Darrington. Was trapped along the baseline. She gets it back. And now a whistle and a jump ball. So all of a sudden, the Bulldogs are figuring out how to double down there.
And as that ball went to the top of the key, you could see Dotsey tried to switch off, but with Miller not able to get over for the full switch, was able to double immediately once that ball comes in. And that has to be the plan. With 2 bigs on the court, doesn't matter if Miller or Dotsey is guarding her, you have to send a double.
Zeemstra is called for the foul off the inbound.
Trying to fight through that screen. Darrington sets that screen. Miller is not switching off of her on this inbounds.
There's Morrison getting around the edge. She gets the layup. Don't look now. Here comes Maddie Morrison.
After that slow start, now team scoring leader tied at 12.
Langham back on the floor with 4 fouls. Zeemstra causes her to hit the deck and then takes it right to the rack and lays it in. Excellent move from Lily Zeemstra.
Impressive off-balance finish with the offhand, the left hand there. Gets that lay. Cuts it to just a 6-point game.
Darrington barely gets it along the baseline and then loses it to Langham. Now Baxter runs the floor. Gets the high ball screen from Miller. Doesn't take it. Going to swing it. And here's Zeemstra. Pump fakes the three-pointer. Wanted it, though. Lingham's pass down low for Miller. As she tries to get the ball to Baxter, was waiting for her to just go to work on Darrington. He had a 2-inch height advantage, and Baxter was trying everything to get the ball, but there was nobody to Miller's left.
Morrison looking for the clear out here. Just a minute left, trying to take over this game.
Maddie Morrison, pull-up jumper, money. Maddie Morrison in the clutch for Central Michigan, 66-58 with a minute 12 to go. And Baxter a quick pull-up J is no good. Rebound goes to Central Michigan. At some point, Butler's going to have to think about fouling. Under a minute to go. Ball goes to Chevry. A foul is called on Baxter.
And with the Chippewas still not in the bonus, Butler's going to have to foul another time if they want to send him to the line and try and get the possession back. Down 8, you got to think this foul is going to come right on the inbounds catch. And getting back to Morrison, we talked so much about that dangerous dribble pull-up game. She couldn't seem to buy a bucket from inside the three-point line through the first 3 quarters. And now 4 buckets for her in crunch time.
Clock winding down, jump ball is called. Zeenstra battling for it along with Jackson. That stops the clock at right around 38 seconds.
Butler there, a lot of time off the clock. They let 10 seconds run off there. Now just under 40 seconds, still down 8 points. I know they're trying to force a quick turnover on the trap, but they need to get the ball back.
And then tried to block it down low as Jackson gets called for the foul.
Part of the strategy in fouling earlier in the clock there is that if Central Michigan goes and drives and gets a bucket on their own or gets fouled like this, you just wasted 20 seconds without fouling and saving yourself some time for this comeback.
So now Taylor Anderson at the line to try and make it a 10-point game with 32.8 remaining. Front end is good. And the senior from South Lyon, Michigan, nails them both in the clutch. 10-point lead for Central Michigan. And Baxter gets the ball ripped out of her hands from Anderson. But it's going to be a jump ball. And Butler possession. So Baxter tries to take it to the rim, gets fouled. She'll go to the free throw line.
Baxter's been the most aggressive Bulldog by far, attacking the paint. She's been rewarded now with her 8th and 9th free throws upcoming. 5 different trips to the line for her tonight.
Baxter makes the first free throw. Second one no good. Rebound by Lily Zeenstra. Some offensive boards, then throws it to Maddie Morrison, who came out of nowhere to steal the basketball. Jackson battles for it. Kickball violation. And it's going to go to the Chippewas. So Butler will try and foul immediately. Clock winds down. And Chevry finishes it off. Well, it was a story of rebounding, turnovers, and Central Michigan is going to take this one with a final score of 68-50.